Hello beautiful creatures of the world and welcome to today's video. Today I'm very upset and I'm going to make a video about why I'm upset. So I got this flyer in the mail about like elections and propaganda, that sort of a thing, because we get a lot of those a lot since the election time is coming up. And there was one for, there's a Minnesota state senator currently who's currently the state senator, is running again. His name is Kent Egan. And I actually met him one time. I was deciding whether or not I should vote for him. And I was on the fence, but now I'm pretty sure that I'm going to. I know I'm going to. So he had sent out mailer flyers a while ago that showed that he's a family man who's deeply rooted in Minnesota and all things Minnesota family values. Cool. And then I got this flyer in the mail today that was bashing Kent Egan. And it triggered me. Like, I literally made a video just before this one where I was screaming. I got so angry, so I'm like, I have to refilm this because I can't be that angry on the internet. So I'm gonna try and do this civilized and calmly. It says, just when you thought our families were safe, Senator Kent Egan voted for. Senator Kent Egan does not support traditional Minnesota families. He voted to make gay marriage the law of Minnesota. How is that not supporting traditional Minnesota families? You think gay marriage is not traditional? Okay, well, having slaves is traditional, so I guess we should just bring that back with that line of thinking and logic. It also says, Senator Kent Egan even voted against common sense measures to keep high school boys who identify as girls out of the girls' locker rooms and off the girls' athletic teams. You know what I think is common sense? This is what I think is common sense. I think not being a transphobic bigot is common sense. I think giving people equality, stop making gender such a strong social construct, and letting people identify with the way that they are freely, I think that's common sense. On the front it says, Senator Kent Egan is out of touch with our Minnesota family values. And then shows gay marriage. It shows an inclusive bathroom, because apparently inclusive bathrooms are bad. And then it shows Minnesota with a big red X through it. Stop Kent Egan. Tuesday, November 8th, no, vote no on Kent Egan. Well, I'm definitely voting for him because, okay, so this is what made me more mad than anything, and this is what I was screaming about in my last take of the video, is Senator Kent Egan is out of touch with our Minnesota family values. Okay, whoever wrote this, you're clearly a very ignorant, uneducated bigot. And I guess, you know, this is America. You have a right to be an ignorant, uneducated bigot if you want to be. But don't tell us that your bigoted ways are our Minnesota family values. You can be a bigot, I guess, if you want to be, but don't say that that's our values and who we are, because it's not. Minnesota is a fairly progressive state. It had gay marriage before 2015 when the Supreme Court ordered it. It's one of the better states to be in if you're transgender. It's easier to transition, like legally and stuff. So I think our Minnesota values are actually acceptance and tolerance and equality. Our Minnesota family values are not bigotry. I think our Minnesota values do include gay marriage. It does include accepting transgender people. I think it does include equality. It does include tolerance and acceptance. It does include egalitarianism. Why should people who are gay not have the right to get married like everyone else? Why should transgender students not have the right to be able to identify with who they are? And you think not giving some people the right to get married and forcing people to identify with something they're not is our Minnesota family values? I think Kent Egan has a great grasp on what our Minnesota family values are. And back here when it says, just when you thought our families were safe, what's unsafe about gay marriage? What's unsafe about transgender acceptance? I think it's unsafe to not be accepting. Now that I know about all these things, Kent Egan voted for him. I really wish the one time I met him, I would have given him a hug and said thank you. But I'm definitely voting for him because he's clearly a smart person who's accepting, who's believing in equality, who's an egalitarian, who's not a bigot. And, you know, it says that this was prepared and paid for by Freedom of Club State, then it gives an address. And it says this is an independent expenditure, not authorized by any candidate. So if this is actually a third-party thing, it scares me to think that there are these strong of bigots around me, and I know it's really ignorant to think that, like, everyone in the world is accepting of LGBT. I know it's really ignorant and naive to think that, but it's, like, it's scary to think that, like, close to home, in my own state, in my own district of my own state, there are so many people who are, well, not so many people, but there are clearly people who believe this. Like, they actually think that this is a bad thing. I'm voting for Kent Egan. If you're in the same district as Minnesota as I am, please vote for Kent Egan. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me rant a little bit. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also leave a comment down below. While you're down there, make sure to check out my social media links. Also hit that beautiful subscribe button to become a beautiful creature of the world, because I make new videos every single week, and I will see y'all next time. Love y'all. Deuces.